Hey, WIT student leaders, this is Jackie Herb from the Center for Student Engagement. Thanks for joining us today. Today our topic is going to be creating an event for your organization on Leopard Spot. So when you start this process, the first step you're going to do is sign into Leopard Spot using your Wentworth credentials. And once you're able to do that, when you're on the home page here, you should be able to scroll down and see the memberships that you're a part of. So any group that you're either managing or a part of, you should see down here. And whichever group you want to create the event for, you're going to select that organization. Once you're on that organization's page, you're going to go right up here to Manage Organization. Once you select that and you're on this page, you're going to go up to the top and you're going to select this menu icon here, and this is called your toolkit for your organization. So in the future when we reference it, it's going to be your toolkit. You'll select that sidebar and you're going to scroll down just to the events button right here and you're going to select that. Once you're here on this list, normally you'll have a couple events that are either in the queue or have already been approved or something that you might want to change about your event. So you can come here and you can select those on this menu and change whatever you need or see the status of if it's been approved or not. For now, we're going to be creating a new event, so you're going to head up to this button right up here and you're going to select that. Once you've selected that Create a New Event button, it'll bring you to this page here where you'll start to fill in the basic details of your event, starting with your event title and what others will be able to search your event as. You'll scroll down to start filling in the description of what your event is going to be about and what activities you might do. Once you've filled in any details and descriptions of your event, you're going to scroll down to adding additional co-hosts here. So if you choose to team up with another group or have another group sponsor your event, you can add that organization here. Only organizations that are registered on Leopard Spot will be able to be included. So the group has to be registered here before you can tag them. What's nice about this is when you tag someone as your co-host, that event will show up on both of your pages. And then if you're hosting other events, when people search your event, other events by your organization will come up. So it's a really great option to retain members and to get kind of your name out there in collaboration with others. After you might have tagged your co-host for your event, you're going to move down to enter in the time, the place, and the date of your event that's coming up. So you can select your start time and your end time here, and then you can add your location, whether that be in person or online. When you're putting in an in-person location, you can choose to put a Google map with that location. So say we wanted to say that our event is in Beatty Hall. We can type in Beatty, and then we can put in our 550 Huntington Avenue address for Beatty Hall, and it'll tag it right here on Google Maps so that anyone outside of Wentworth or inside of Wentworth know where to go. This is awesome if you're doing events that require people to come from the outside community so they know exactly where they're going. If you're having an internal event, meaning you're just having Wentworth people come to that event, then you can choose to not show a map, or for whatever reason you can choose to not have a location. If you happen to be hosting an event that's online, you can choose that option too. And what you'll do is you'll put in any instructions for your attendees when they're coming into the space that you'll be hosting your meeting or your event on. So if you want to put any kind of Zoom password in here, any details to log in, you can put that up here. And then you can put the link for students or other members to select when they want to be a part of that meeting. So this is the part where you'd put your Zoom link in if it's an online event. What's really awesome about adding events on Leopard Spot is that moving down the list here, you can also add reoccurring dates for whatever event you're putting in. So say you're putting in your routine weekly meeting or bi-weekly meeting, you can add another date and we'll be able to approve them all at one time. So if you put all of your meetings in because they'll be at the same time in the same location for the whole semester, we can approve them all at once for you. After you're done putting in your time, your date, and your location for your event, you're going to scroll down to enter in the event visibility. And on this list right here, you'll see that the first option you can select is to have your event shown to the public. This is a really great option if you're looking for interested students to view your events and see what your club is about. They can view that whether they have a Wentworth account with Leopard Spot or not. If you select students and staff at Leopard Spot, then this event will only be visible for those who have an account on Leopard Spot. And if you're just looking for your organization members to know that this event is going on, you can select this option too. That means whoever is a part of your organization will be the only ones who know about the event that's happening. Moving down the list, you'll see that you have an opportunity to put any event on your co-curricular transcript. We'll go into what a co-curricular transcript is a little bit later in our tutorial series, but just to give you an idea, you can choose to have any event put on a running list of involvement opportunities that you take on at Wentworth, which is pretty cool. Scrolling up to the top here, we'll talk a little bit about themes that you can select. We have only a couple of them listed right now. These are the only ones that we're able to put down here. So if your event is an athletics event, you want to make sure to select that theme, but maybe your event is more than just an athletics event. Maybe you want it to have or advertise other factors, which is why we can go down to the event categories right here. So we already said it's an athletic event, but maybe it's also an award ceremony. And maybe it also is celebrating a group's service at the same time. You can select as many of these categories as you want. We'll go to this a little bit later, but this is how other people are going to be able to search your events when they're looking for something to do at Wentworth. We definitely understand that there will be a lot of different categories that events fall into. So if you have an event that you don't see a category that fits with the goals of your event, definitely feel free to reach out to the Center for Student Engagement or to me directly at herbj@wit.edu, and we can talk about some ideas for other categories that we can include. Another part of this process is to list some of the perks that might be happening at your event. Right now, we know the value of free food and free stuff at events. So if your event is hosting any of these perks, you want to make sure to select that and let people know about it. Moving down to some additional questions here, you'll see that our office is going to ask for your confirmation email, your confirmation number for the room that you would have reserved for your event. So we're going to be asking you to have already requested a room with the Center for Student Engagement before you advertise your event on Leopard Spot. So you'll type in that number here, you'll continue down, and we'll ask you to put in a backup location. We hope to not have to use it, but just in case something comes up, whether it's weather related, space related, large events happening on campus, we never want to change your confirmed location, but if we have to, we want to be aware of a backup spot, and we'll make your group aware of that change. Moving down to our last question here, we will be asking if there's any associated costs with your event. This question will be broadcast on your event confirmation, and it will be what people can see, so everyone will be aware if there is an associated cost. Once you've filled in all of the necessary information up top here, tagged your co-hosts, selected the date, time, and location, selected your categories, your perks, and who can see this event, and answered some of our additional questions, we'll go to the next page. You'll be selecting who can RSVP for this event. So this event, we're going to select that anyone can attend. You can also select that only invitees can RSVP to this. You can also select a limit of available spots. So if you wanted to put maybe 150 people can attend this event, you can put that. And then you can also show the remaining spots to individuals that are looking into this event, so they'll know if the event is already full. You can also select to allow guests to this event. You can limit maybe one guest per person. And then you can also have the counted guest remaining against the RSVP spots, so you know that you won't go over that 150 limit. After you're done filling in your RSVP details, you can scroll down and you can add any kind of text or summary for anyone who has RSVP'd, so any extra details, if you choose to include those, you can put them here. Anyone who RSVP'd for the event will be sent those instructions. And then coming down to the bottom, you can choose to add questions that will show up on the event description. So if you want those who are RSVPing for your event to answer any questions, you can put them up here. Say you're doing an event and you want to tie-dye t-shirts, but you want to know who needs however many shirt sizes. So you can type in the question that you want to ask, and you can type in the options here, and you can have that question be asked to those who are RSVPing for your event. There's a lot of different options, so if you need to do a single text line, you can do that. You can check boxes, you can have a drop-down menu, you can make it pretty customized. Once you put in those details, you'll be able to review your event submission here. You'll be able to look through the details that you put in, your cover photo, and anything else that you need to go over. And then you'll be able to submit your event. After you submit your event, that notification will go to me or someone else in the Center for Student Engagement. We'll be able to take a look and make sure that we have all the information from you, and then you'll get an email notification when your event's been approved. Once you submitted your event for approval and it was approved, you can go back to the home page here and you can select the Events tab. And your event will show up right here. You can select it and you can see all of the details of the event, when it's happening, where it's happening. This one we did include RSVP options, so you can select to RSVP if you want to attend the event. You can see what's going to be going on in all the categories here, all the different groups that might be co-hosting the event. Everything that you just entered in will be displayed on this page here. And going back to that events landing page over here, you can see that when we do have more events that'll be approved and in the queue here, you'll be able to search them by the different categories up here. So if you want to search by keywords, you're welcome to do that. If you want to search by day of the week, you can do that. You can check and see what's going on online versus in person. You can select different themes that you're interested in, different categories, and then buy those perks as well, free stuff or free food. Because there's only one event in here right now, that's all we can search, but once this page starts getting filled up with more groups submitting their event, you'll have a lot of options to choose from. If you're the organizer of an event and you want to go in and change something, maybe the date changed, maybe the time or the location, you can select the event here. And if you organized it or you're part of the group that did, you'll have the option to manage the event up here. And you'll be able to go through the details here. You can change anything about the event. You can cancel the event altogether if you need to. You can track attendance here by how many people have RSVP'd. When you do go in to change any details about the event, they'll take you right back to the submission page that you filled out before. And when you end up submitting your event, it's important to note that it will go back into our queue to be approved again, so it may not show up with the changes until we're able to approve it. And that is how you create an event on Leopard Spot. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or the Center for Student Engagement and we'll be able to help you out. Thank you all for tuning in, and we can't wait to see this page full of more events.